Hi everyone, Ahsoka here. Today we're going to be talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 3. As you all know, Part 3 was during a Flash episode. And it starts off with the first cameo of the episode that I personally enjoyed. And if you saw the episode, you know that it isn't the first cameo that they kept hush hush, which was very surprising for me, and I quite enjoyed that. It starts off with Huntress from Birds of Prey, the old TV show, and she's kind of running away, and Earth is being destroyed, and we hear Oracle and her intercom, or whatever that is. Back on the ship, we finally figure out who are the last three Paragons. The first one is Martian Manhunter, who is the Paragon of Honor. The second one is the Flash, who is the Paragon of Love. And the third and final one is... Sorry. And the third and final one is Ryan Choi, who is... The second one is the Flash, who is the Paragon of Love. And the third and final one is Ryan Choi, who is a doctor in an Ivy League college, and he's the Paragon of Humanity. Once again, even though this is a big crossover and the heroes are supposed to be together and save the world, they just go their separate ways again, which is just kind of becoming annoying at this point. The first team, Ralph, Iris, and Ray, go get the Paragon of Humanity, Ryan Choi, at the college that he works in. And they kind of have a small setback when they tell him that the world is ending and that they need his help. And of course, as a normal person, when someone tells you that the world is ending, what you want to do is spend it with the rest of your time with your family. And he wants to go do that, but then Iris just gives one of her speeches, I guess, and kind of persuades him otherwise. So after that, they just go back to the ship to work on it, I guess. Next, we see the second cameo of the episode when Diggle, Sarah, Mia, and Constantine are trying to get Oliver's soul back to his body, and Constantine enlists the help of an old friend who is Lucifer from Lucifer the show. I was very surprised to see him because there was no talk of him being in the crossover whatsoever, and apparently the actor just flew to Vancouver very hush-hush to film the small cameo, and it was just great seeing him there and interact with everyone else. It was great. Even though it's a small appearance, Lucifer still has enough time to give them a card that will allow them to go to Purgatory and bring Oliver's soul back. So once they get there, shocker, the Purgatory that Oliver picked was Lian Yu. They get there, and apparently when someone goes to Purgatory, they lose their memories. So when they do find Oliver, he doesn't remember who they are until he does. And then they want to bring him back, but surprise, surprise, he doesn't come back. And this whole Oliver thing is just kind of starting to get on my nerves, because we were promised in the last crossover that he would die on this one, and then he did, but now he doesn't seem to want to stay dead, or they don't want him to stay dead. It's just very confusing and rather annoying, I would say, especially because Arrow is ending. So while all of that is happening, the Monitor kind of gave Cisco his vibe powers back, because apparently he's needed to save the multiverse. And that being said, Vibe, Killer Frost, and the Flash go back to Central City, to the underground place where Wells was digging, and they get there and we see Wells, that now is Pariah, and he gets them inside, sort of, with Vibe's help. And once inside, turns out that there's this machine that the Anti-Monitor is using to destroy the multiverse. And someone is powering it by running through a treadmill, which was kind of odd, I guess. But we've seen that before when The Flash started and they were testing out his powers, and it was pretty cool back then. Barry tries to enter it, but there's some sort of force field around it and he can't. So Cisco has to use his powers to get that person out of there so they can stop the machine. When he does, we see that the person in there is the Flash from Earth 19, aka our third cameo, aka the Flash from the old TV show. Given that this machine is responsible for obliterating almost all of the multiverse, obviously they want to destroy it. But they're failing miserably, so Pariah gets Black Lightning for his help. But once he's there, he's obviously pissed because his whole world was just destroyed, his family got murdered, and Pariah only saved him. But then the Flash kind of just calms him down and he agrees to help, so he's just using his awesome lightning powers to kind of give them some time to figure out a plan. And then the Flash thinks that this is a time for the Flash to disappear. Like it was predicted in that newspaper that Iris wrote. And he's all ready to do it, and he's saying his goodbyes to Cisco and Caitlin, but then Barry Allen from Earth 19 kind of just takes his speed away for a little bit and just says that it's his time, that he's lived long enough, and that the Monitor said that a Flash had to disappear in the crisis. He didn't say which Flash, so he just sacrifices himself and then they destroy the machine and get the hell out of there. Shocking news, Kara isn't used a lot in this episode, which kind of pisses me off because she's freaking Supergirl, but it seems that they don't know what the hell to do with her, so what she does in this episode is just trying to use the Book of Destiny to bring everyone back, and then Kate is like, no, you can't do it because then you will just lose yourself, and then without you we don't have any chance to fight this. And then she just kind of like gives up on it, and Kate shows her that she took some kryptonite from Bruce, and Kara's kind of upset at first, but then tells her to keep it, but she hopes that she never has to use it. And that was everything that happened with Kara this episode.
When Lena does it, all hell breaks loose. When she does it, I hope you don't have to use it, dear.
I know, right? I'm just really pissed at Kara for that. So there's 10 minutes left in the episode, and Harbinger finally shows up because, as the last episode showed us, she went to meet up with the Anti-Monitor. So now she shows up and she pretends everything's fine and that she's Harbinger, and Diggle is totally concerned about her because she's still his wife or whatever. But then, surprise, surprise, she's not herself, she's the Anti-Monitor. And he basically just puts everyone down with his hand, and then he destroys the final Earth. Everyone that was still alive, except the people on that ship, are dead. And he also kills the Monitor, and before the Monitor dies, he tells Pariah that he knows what he has to do. So Pariah kind of just takes the Paragons away to some place where they'll be safe, and everyone standing on that ship is killed. The episode ends when all 7 Paragons get to the vanishing point, and they're still all shooken up about everything that happened. And then Kingdom Come Superman is just feeling really bad, and all these strange lights are coming off of him, and then he just disappears and Lex Luthor comes up. It turns out Lex had used the Book of Destiny to take out Superman's name and write his own so he could be saved. And that's how the episode ends. So now we have to wait a full month for the next episode of this crossover. And honestly, not a lot has happened in these last 3 episodes. At first I was super excited because everyone was just getting together and preparing to basically face the Armageddon. It just pisses me off because it seems that they're just doing Infinity War all over again. And that's just sad to me because usually DC is the one with new ideas and Marvel just follows them when they see that those ideas can be successful, aka Wonder Woman came first and then Captain Marvel came. My point is just this episode made me feel like a little bit let down and I don't know, I'm just a little bit pissed off. I was expecting more and it just seems that they took 3 freaking episodes to build up to something and then we're gonna have to wait a whole month for something to finally happen. And that's just a big disappointment. And you know, they led up to something that was supposed to be huge, but we all know they're gonna come back because they're not just gonna cancel Black Lightning out of nowhere, they're not just gonna cancel The Flash out of nowhere, they're not just gonna cancel Legends and Supergirl out of nowhere, and Batwoman just started. For now, that's it. I'll see you in a month to continue to talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths, but in the meantime, I will release some more reviews. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe too if you want to. Stick around and I'll see you next time.